Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel. I'm your host, Solomon Savoy. I have my lovely wife, Shannon Savoy here. We're actually doing another video for y'all. So we're bringing back another one. This one is real good with all the holidays. You know, Thanksgiving just passed. We have Christmas coming up and also New Year's coming up. So this one is called Spending the Holidays with the Narcs, which is short for Narcissist. So it's going to be a juicy topic. I'm going to start this one different. I'm actually going to go into a Bible verse first. So I'm going to read to you Matthew 10, verse 34 through 37. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And whosoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And you think about that, them three verses we just read, that's powerful, especially with the holidays, and you got in-laws with the parents and kids and everything. So that verse just actually hit on a lot. Hit on a lot. So we got three verses on this one. Usually I do two, but we got three. So that we want to start and set the tone for that. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to ask each other questions back and forth. And hopefully you learn something out of this. And we'll, at the end of it, I'll let Shannon introduce her site and everything that she has going on with Narc-Free Living. But to start, still, Shannon, you can go do a quick introduction so we can start.
Yes. As I always say, I'm Shannon Savoy. I'm the CEO and founder of Narc-Free Living and also a Girls Girl foundation. So Narc-Free Living is based on, we talk about narcissism from a spiritual and psychological perspective. I'm not a therapist, but I'm someone who has extensive history with narcissists, and God has gifted us with the spirit of discernment and wisdom to be able to know how to effectively slay these demons in Jesus' name. So that's what Narc-Free Living is about. And then a Girls Girl Foundation is helping women and girls know who they are in Christ and providing them with resources and everything from physical, psychological, and emotional well-being, so that they are who we are supposed to be in Christ. So thank you for having me again.
You're welcome. All the time. So we'll just jump right into this one, right into the first question. First question is going to my wife, actually. During the holiday season, how do you prepare to be around toxic people?
Oh my goodness. You have to, first of all, when we're engaging anything, we want to make sure that God is present in everything that we do. And being around family is no different, because you are around, and we don't think of this. I didn't think of this when I used to be around family. I didn't think of it as being around people who were battling demons. All I think about is that's my family. This is all I knew. I didn't think about the spiritual aspect. So in all things, I think it's best to prepare and ask God to guide your words, guide your actions, guide you as you get on the road. So you also want to ask him to help you while you're in the house because you're in the house with all these demons, okay? Not to say that everybody is demonic, but those who walk in the, in different, demonic spirits, you are battling that. So you are engaging in spiritual warfare. And we don't think of it like that, but that's essentially what it is. So you always want to make sure that you are girded up in the helmet of salvation. You slay with your word. You just keep God and his spirit, present at all times. That way you know what to say when, they come up and rise up against you in little ways. So I say, just gird yourself with the word of God. Make sure you have that breastplate of righteousness, that you are, you have God on your side. That way you know how to combat these things, and the Holy Spirit will show you on what to do and what to say.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. I mean, it's in-depth and it's basically breaking down, because I think a lot of us, what do we call them, narcissists or whatever name you have for them, angry man or whatever. we deal with people different when they toxic. You know, some of us like being alone during the holidays. It's just the way that's just the way we build. Some of us like being around people. You know, that's cool too. Some of us have to be around people that we don't want to be around. But it's the holidays, so it's like I gotta welcome this person to my house that I really don't like. So you got that going on. And then you got that uncle that like to drink and do stuff, and you know, he funny, but then he drink too much. You know, it's a whole other story. But you know, it's different ways of dealing with toxic people, like Shannon said. It's, you know, God first, and then, you know, it's different methods. We'll discuss some of them, you know, coming up in this in this video. Just letting you know, ways. Another one that I want to bring up right off the top, and then Shannon can jump right back in, is Gray Rock. So Gray Rock, a lot of people don't know what that is. So we're going to do an educational class today. This whole thing is going to be an educational thing with the holidays. So I'm going to let Shannon, I'm throwing a nugget in there, and just discuss Gray Rock.
Right over here.
Right.
So Gray Rock is when you know that you're dealing with a toxic person, so you don't want to give them narcissistic supply. And narcissistic supply is when somebody is trying to get your emotions, they're trying to get your energy, they're trying to take, trying to vex your spirit. So with Gray Rock, you are essentially kind of not letting that in. You're protecting yourself. You're staying centered in who you are, and you're just, if they say something, it's like rubber. It's just bouncing off of you because you don't want to give them access to your spirit, man. You don't want to give them any supply. So you're just, if you say something to me, I'm just like, yeah. And they're trying to make you angry. They're trying to make you upset and feed into your emotion, because that's what the enemy does. He takes our emotions and he uses them. They take our compassion and they quench our discernment. So with Gray Rock, you're not allowing them to affect your spirit. You're not letting them in, and you're just like, whatever they say is just like, So you're a rock. You're staying centered in who you are and in who God says you are. And you're not, whatever that enemy says, this is returning back. You return that back to him, to whence it came. In Gray Rock, you just, whatever. Okay. So that's my version of Gray Rock. I'm not hearing what you're saying.
See, that's why I let her explain, because we talked about this a few times. I know she's gonna give you an explanation. So why let me explain? I wasn't gonna explain something. I was gonna go just straight Gray Rock. Hey, no emotion. That's my answer. See? That's why you gotta bring it to the channel. So, but yeah, Gray Rock. That's one of the best ways. It's not the only way, of course, but that is a good way to deal with people, especially when, like I said, it's the holidays. Thanksgiving just passed. I know some of y'all will watch this video and be like, man, I wish I'd have known that. But now for Christmas and New Year's and whatever holidays you got coming up next year that you celebrate. We actually don't celebrate holidays. We really don't. Now, did we eat yesterday? Yes, but we wasn't eating it on a Thanksgiving. I mean, there's nothing. We just eating. Hey, we wanted to eat. Just like we eat any other day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Don't have to be a holiday to eat. So
we give thanks to God every day.
Every day, exactly. So yeah. So we can go right into the next question.
So what are indicators that the narcissist is trying to gain some supply from you?
Okay, let me pull up the slide. Actually, my wife created this slide. You'll see it. So I'll share this slide.
Let's share the other one.
Oh, it's the other one?
Yes.
My bad. Hey, I'm not, I'm learning that stuff.
It's okay.
This is the one.
Yes. So, indicators. So, and I guess, are they trying to gain supply? You're going to notice some of these things. We're going to talk about the family first, and then you'll understand how they gain supply. So with a narcissistic family, I'm not going to read all those, but a major indicator of an unhealthy family is they sweep the issues up under the rug, okay? So they do everything to protect their image. So they are highly superficial. Your emotions really don't matter in an unhealthy or narcissistic family. It's all about, protecting them. And what that does is it grooms you to accept abuse. It grooms you to tolerate bad behavior. So just like you said, when they're trying to gain that supply and get a reaction out of you, when you're already groomed, you're already being baited in because you don't understand that you have choices, because it's essentially groomed into you and embedded into you that you have to stay around these family members for whatever reason, and that's not good, because you don't understand that you have a choice in the matter, and that you don't have to respond, you don't have to react. So ways that they try to get supply is, let's say you have a aunt or an uncle or someone who is trying to get up under your skin, or they bring up inappropriate conversations, or they cross your boundaries. Those are ways that they are trying to get you to react. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the thing with the boundaries too that I want to touch on real quick, like she just said, once you set those boundaries, you have to hold yourself accountable first with those boundaries. So if you say, I don't want to talk about this particular issue, like you said, it could be a nasty joke or whatever, you don't want to hear those things from different family members. Once you set that boundary, don't let them cross it and go in and do it. Because that's mistake number one. It's like playing baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. So if you didn't set the boundary, that means something happened previously that's why you set that boundary. So why would you let them slide this time? Go ahead. That's where you want to stand up for yourself and say, hey, nah, I just told you last time, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear the little kid jokes, the little nasty joke, whatever it is, you don't want to hear it or talk about it or be in that position, whatever. So you just let them know up top. And I'm a firm believer, hey, stand up for yourself. And, you talk it out, y'all don't. So talk it out. It's not like you're talking to a 2-year-old. So you try to talk it out and learn from each other, like, okay, how do we move forward? If you want to keep this relationship, whether it's a friend or family member, how do we keep moving forward to say, hey, we friends, we family, but if you're not gonna respect my boundaries, then you out of here, like 3 strikes, you out. And you honor that boundary, and don't let them cross it. And once they cross that boundary, just honor that. Just remember that. Just uphold that boundary and stand up for yourself. That's 2 things,
And that's good. What you said is, this is like, we don't celebrate holidays, and sometimes you have family who doesn't understand that. They take it as something that's against them. But God has shown us that they are, it's walking in idolatry. Okay, so we have to get to a place where we're honoring God, and you're not worried about what your family says. Okay, because sometimes we put so much stock into what your family says that you're placing your family above God. You're another form of idolatry. So we have to be careful and like you said, hold those boundaries, because just we said we don't celebrate holidays, right? So if you have family, you may have a family member that is, keep sending you texts to you, not even a group text, and they keep, after you've told them that you don't do that, so that is a boundary. And like someone said, it's up to you then to say, I don't celebrate holidays, but I wish you well on this day and every day. So it's a way that you make sure that you are articulating your boundaries, and then that, like someone said, you're holding yourself accountable as well. You hold the other person accountable. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So let me stop sharing on this one so we can get to our next question. So the next question, how do we handle holiday celebrations when there's more than one narcissist? So, family it might not just be one, it might be a few of them.
It's usually not just one. So that kind of goes back to question number 1. You have to stay girded up. You have to know who you are. And most of the time it's tricky because we don't know. Most people don't know that they have narcissists in their family. They just label them as, oh, that's such and such. That's crazy Aunt Joe, or that's Uncle Harry. That's just how he is. So people that puts it takes the accountability off of them, and they're able to continue on doing what they do, and they get away with that because no one is holding them responsible. So when there's more than one, you may have to, if you laid a boundary and they keep overstepping it, it's on you. It's up to you to say, can I handle my family still disrespecting my boundaries, still dishonoring me, still not, taking my presence as a gift? Because your presence is a gift. So when it's more than one narcissist, and I see that my family is toxic and my family is not willing to address these issues and cast these things out, especially if you have a family that believes in God, we have power through Jesus Christ to overcome these things. But if they're not walking, you know, and things biblically as God has directed us, you know, you have well, you know, you are more than within your rights to walk away. So how I would handle it, first of all, you pray, you stand firm in who God says that you are. You let them know what your boundaries are. And then if your boundaries are continuously overstepped, then you have to make a decision. Am I going to put up with this, or am I going to handle them, love them from a distance? You know, that doesn't mean you don't have to go around somebody who is toxic. I don't care if it's family. I don't care who it is. Okay. So you have to make a decision of what you want to do next. And that's up to each person to figure that out.
Yeah, definitely. And only advice I have to add to that, how about you just don't go?
Ooh.
I mean,
you cannot go?
Yeah, you cannot go. How about you just don't go? Like, everything she just said is all true for what she just said, but how about you just don't go and you ain't got to deal with none of that. Just eat food at your own house.
What?
Cook your fried turkey at home.
Right. Start your own traditions.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Let me read, let me get into the next verse. This Romans 16, verse 17. I appeal to you, brothers, to watch out for those who cause divisions and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine that you have been taught. Avoid them. To me, that verse, it speaks volumes, because what are we talking about? We're talking about narcissists. What do they try to do? They try to destroy. They try to, they most definitely divide. They steal, they kill, destroy. You know, that's what we always say, but that's division. That's what that is. That's division. So they divide friendships up. They divide family members up. They'll pit this brother against this brother or sister. You know, you can go, the list can go on and on. So just think about that when we keep going through these questions, and just, you know, not even these questions, but when you're watching this video, just think about that. Go back and read Romans 16 and 17. I'll put it up on the screen or whatever. That way you'll know. But yeah, just think about that. So
the Bible didn't say, watch out for those who cause division and avoid them only if it's not your mother.
No, I didn't.
Only if it's not your brother.
No, I don't.
Only if it's not your father.
You sure don't?
No, only if it's not your sister.
No, I don't.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Avoid them.
Yeah, I said avoid them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what should we do to avoid the narcissist during holiday gatherings?
There's a few different things. We already spoke about it. I actually gave part of the answer on the last question. Not go. Not go. Now, see what I say this, by not going, the first thing they try to do is try to guilt trip you. Oh, you're not going to come? You're not going to come see, you know, such and such? Don't fall for the okie doke or the banana in the tailpipe, like I like to say. Okay, you guilt tripping me for what reason? If I don't celebrate holidays, why am I going to go hang out with y'all for Christmas and New Year's or whatever? The more I learn, the more I know that I shouldn't be doing these celebrations. They pagan holidays. I actually did a video about that. We're probably going to do another video about that, breaking down Christmas a little bit more. But I actually linked that video probably in the slide. I already broke down some of what these holidays actually mean. Are you celebrating Jesus' birthday, or is it taboo and some of these other people that, you know, I'm not going to even get into it. But anyway, so, I mean, it's a few different things. Like she said earlier, we mentioned Gray Rock. That's another one. I'm not going to repeat that, but, you know, you got Gray Rock. You got no contact. You got a few different options before you even go to, I'm just go, you know, get mad at this person, get angry. You shouldn't even get to that. You set up the boundaries. You don't have to go. That's my favorite one. I ain't got to drive, burn my gas, drive 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours to get somewhere. Hey, I can just stay at home. Like she just said, start my own tradition. So to me, that's probably the best answer. And you can't say that's the only answer, because it's not, because we just said that, but that's probably one of the best, because if you can afford, because remember, stress kills. I did a post about that the other day. Stress actually kills us. So if you're stressed out to be around these family members, why are you putting yourself in that position in the first place? Right. It's like going somewhere you know you're going to get shot. You're not going to go. You're like, nah, I ain't going over there. If I know I'm going to get shot, why am I going to this? Yeah. So it's the same thing. If I know I'm going to get stressed out, my anxiety level going to be high, blood pressure, I might end up in the hospital to go eat turkey with these people. No, y'all turkeys. I'm not going over there to eat with y'all. How about that? So that's my answer on that. I know it ain't the most logical answer, but that's what I'm going with.
And then some people just financially, they will put themselves in a bind. Like go into debt, can't pay their bills, can't do to give gifts, and to be around. I'm gonna get my last gas, you know. Yeah. My lights might be turned off, you know, while I'm going, but I'm going on. And when you hope that there's other opportunities, you have family reunions, people have, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, and I know that's a time when most people get together, but like you said, if it's causing you stress, it's causing you anxiety, it's causing you grief, you're gonna have to see that uncle that molested you, or you're gonna have to see that family member that did something to you and it's not being addressed. The family is not collectively addressing it. Everybody just sweeping it under the rug, acting like, it didn't happen. So those are high anxiety situations that you do have a choice to participate in or not. Great points.
True. Next question. Is it a good idea to go no contact from holidays to avoid narcissistic family members?
Yes. Like you said.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
I just make sure. I'm not confused. Okay.
Yes, it is a good idea. Like I said, we've been so groomed to believe, one, that love and abuse can coexist, that love, that abuse, emotional abuse or whatever, as long as if it's from family, just put up with it. Because for one, they're getting older, all the excuses that we make for our family. Let's see, that's just how such and such is. But they're getting older, they may not be with us much longer. What else? Forgive and let it go. Just let it go. What else? Well, that's your insert family member. Well, that's your, okay. So I'm just supposed to just take this because this is my aunt, this is my mother, this is whoever. No, guys, that's not what the Bible says. That is that old way of thinking. Okay. And God said we can do a new thing. So let's try new things. So is it a good idea? Yes, it is. It is. For some people, it is essential to their mental health that they put separation. And that does not mean that you don't love them. Oh, that's that guilt and that shame. And that is from the enemy, okay? And these people may not even be realizing that they are being used from the enemy to shame and guilt and put condemnation on other family members. And that is wrong. God doesn't even do that. So why do family think that is okay to do that? When somebody has set a boundary and said, I'm not doing this. I'm like, oh, well, you should have went. No, I should have did exactly what I wanted to do if it's a toxic family member and I've made a boundary and I've tried to do everything that I could, to let this person know that their behavior is unacceptable. And now I'm putting a boundary. So is it a good idea? Absolutely, it is a good idea.
You already know why I say it.
Yes.
I don't have to add to it.
You want to pull up that other slide?
Let's see if I can do this right. I'm learning.
Oh, and while you're doing that, let me read 1 Corinthians 5-11. But now I am writing to you not to associate with anyone who bears the name of brother if he is guilty of sexual immorality or greed or is an adulterer, reveler, drunkard, or swindler, not even to eat with such one. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. So you want to go through this? You want me to go through this?
Yeah, I'll just skim through it. I'm not gonna read the whole slide, but once again, my wife created this one. This goes back to what we're talking about narcissists, during the holidays. So, you got narcissistic family members want to make sure that they're a sole source of joy. So remember we talking about the supply? I think people don't know what that supply is. Basically, they feeding off you almost like, we call them energy vampires. So they like feeding off you, like feasting off you. It's almost like, you go out in the woods, not even in the woods, but you're on the street, you see the vultures eating down on the dead carcasses side of the road. It's the same thing. Think about a person doing it to you, not physically biting you on your neck. I'm not talking about like that, but just after you have a conversation with them, or you talk to them, you just feel drained and you feel like, what just happened? Like the whole hour of your life, you can't get that back, but you just wasted an hour of your life. So just remember that. One, narcissists provoke you. They do. They provoke you because they're trying to get a rise out of you. So that's part of the reason, they get their stuff, their energy and stuff. And I'll skip, narcissists lie, gossip about you. And then number 5, they make it all about them and must be the center of attention in some way. So it's a lot of different things going on during the holidays. And you probably can point to a few people. Now, are we saying everybody in your family narcissists? No, it's not what we're saying.
No, because some people are some people are toxic. Some people are emotionally unhealthy. They can be these things. They can be ignorant, okay, and not be narcissists. narcissists, we go back and watch some of the videos. It is definitely, that is a good point, because it is definitely a difference between somebody who was emotionally unhealthy, but they're willing to listen to you. They're willing to hear your side of it. When they're wrong, they will apologize, okay? And because they may not be aware that they're operating like this, but when you bring it to them, they don't continuously provoke you, as the slide said. They don't continuously embarrass you or lie or gossip. They can admit, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. I did not understand that my actions were making you feel this way. But with the narcissist, oh, you're not gonna get this. You're gonna get, well, I did the best that I could. It's gonna be a lot of defensive. It's gonna be a lot crying with fake tears, to bait and switch you. So you're so focused on how they feel that you're no longer even, concerned about how something was making you feel. It's all those little sneaky tactics that they do to gaslight you, to make you feel like you're crazy. That is a big difference between a narcissist and a healthy family member or someone who is toxic. So I'm glad you made that point.
Yeah. That was another slide. My wife, she do beautiful slides. But we just want to bring awareness. I mean, we both have our YouTube channels now. Again, I'm talking about narcissists in the workplace. She talking about narcissists, like so far as family and things like that. But remember, they go hand in hand because these people go to work. So it's not like I did whatever it's
video.
Called. Yeah, a video, or I think it was a post I did actually on narcissists. When they leave out the front door of their house, they don't automatically just, oh, I'm a good person, I'm going to go to work and be happy. It's not how it works. And then when they come home, they're not going to be happy walking through that front door. Again, just think about that. They're becoming this angry person that was angry at work. They was angry before they left to go to work. Now they're angry coming home. So, I mean, so during the holiday seasons, it's all the same. It's hand in hand. That person isn't going to change just because it's Christmas.
Right.
They just got more people they can doggone get supply from. That's what that boils down to.
Yeah.
So instead of the 3 or 4 people that stay with them, they might have 30 or 40 people in their house, and they're going to try to see what they can get out of each one.
Yeah, narcissists love the holidays. And another good point is, narcissists don't, like you said, they're angry. That's more the overt ones. Oh, the covert ones. Oh, they use their charm. They use those words that are dripped with honey. They pull you in, and then behind your back, they're doing all that stuff. So you will and that's what's the confusing thing. You're like, but this person is nice to me. This person gives me things, some of them. This person does these things for me. But with the narcissist, there's always an ulterior motive. Okay, you will see, fits or glimpses of them when they're not so nice. And I say, because we all have glimpses where we might be hungry, or we might be a little hangry, or whatever the case is. But with a narcissist, it is something vindictive. They are very vindictive. They are very passive aggressive. Okay, they will hold grudges like no other. They're very contradictory. They're very hypocritical. They will do one thing and say another. So those are those covert narcissists, and those are the tricky ones, because they have glimpses. All of them do have glimpses of niceness that confuse you. You're like, oh my goodness, this person, oh no, they're so nice, but they're very so much the puppet master, and they know they're very strategic about who they abuse and who they allow to see that face, that the true them, not just that false, persona, that false person that they show the world and they show the family. That's why it's so tricky. So when you come and tell somebody, oh, I think, such and such is a narcissist, everybody is like, no, that's auntie, that's uncle, that's daddy, that's mama. They're like, no, nah, you crazy.
Yeah.
So you can't even tell them all the things that you've experienced, because in their mind, all they see is that nice person, that the nice face. They haven't allowed their mask to slip too much around the rest of the family. And really the rest of the family is around them in short doses. So really the closest one that are with them, usually in the house, are the ones that see it. But everybody may not be ready to say that, yeah, I think this person is such and such, because they know what comes with that. They're going to be outcasts of the family unit, and most people are not ready to deal with that. So it's a lot that goes into it.
Exactly.
Okay, so did I ask this one already? What can we learn from being in contact with the narcissist during the holiday season? What can you learn?
You're gonna learn a lot. You'll wish you wouldn't learn. Be it's one of them things where, like I said earlier, you go into this thing, oh, we're gonna have this family gathering, we're gonna eat this food, and I get to see my family. And that's how it kind of works. But if you have a narcissist involved, it's not gonna go exactly like that, because this means you're gonna get educated. You're gonna wish you knew what we're telling you right now before you went into that dinner, because you're gonna leave that meal feeling so like what I said earlier. Like, what just happened? You're gonna drive home. How many hours you got to drive? 30 minutes, whatever it is, thinking or talking to your spouse or your kids, like, did you see such and such, how they were talking or acting? Or just starting mess. It's supposed to be a family gathering where we're supposed to be having fun and enjoying each other's company, but it's that one or two that it's like they came here to start mess. It's like they had that on their mind to come here and destroy whatever y'all had going on. So you can learn a lot. You can, it's gonna put you in a place where you're gonna go home and start figuring out, okay, why did my uncle act like that? Or why did my cousin act like that? And you might come across narcissists. And you go, yo, what is this? Right. So not everybody knows, so you gotta be like, what is this? So once you dig into that, then it's like, oh, you start watching YouTube videos like this, like you're watching now. Oh, okay, they fit the mold. They fit the criteria. So you can learn a lot. I mean, hopefully you don't learn that, but chances are you probably already, some of the stuff we're saying, you probably already witnessed this. And during the holiday, Thanksgiving just yesterday, I'm pretty sure a lot of people around the country and around the world who ever celebrate Thanksgiving probably witnessed a narcissist in full force or sight and didn't realize what was going on.
Right.
They probably studying it right now as we making this video. They're probably like, I don't know what happened, but Uncle such and such was,
Right.
So yeah. That's my thoughts on that question.
Yes. I'm good.
Are you good?
Because I'm gonna tie into with this next one.
Okay, so next question. What triggers can we look for?
All the things that you just said. When you're scratching your head and you're like, wait a minute, what? It's something about that, because our bodies will tell us things that our minds aren't really ready to accept, and our minds and our hearts, because our hearts are deceptive. That's why we're supposed to walk in the Spirit, because God will begin to show you things, and your body will tell you, that Holy Spirit will tell you, wait a minute, such and such, it's something about them that just isn't right. And you may be the only one to speak up on it. You may be the only one to see it, but your spirit is telling, the Holy Spirit is telling you not to trust this person in this aspect, not to give them money, not to tell them your business, just have a surface level relationship with them, go gray rock with them. So the things that you want to look for, you want to look for patterns. What is this person's history? Even if it's your family members. We don't like to talk about our family members in a negative, what we say, a negative light, but the truth is the truth, and the truth divides, okay? So you have to look for those patterns, because you may be putting together a puzzle piece, and those are things, we don't ignore those things. Is this person, behind the scenes causing disruption? Is this person triangulating? Does this person gossip to me about other members of the family? And you may think it's just you, but trust and believe, when they get off the phone, they're gossiping about you with someone else. So you got to be careful for gossiping, especially even with family. They get on the phone and tell you everything. They know all the family's business, okay? They're like the center. Usually the narcissist is the center of the family a lot of times. They're the ones that are the favorite. They're the ones that people, gravitate to, because they have that seductive, they have that Jezebel spirit that is very seductive, that Leviathan, tongue, that Python spirit that sucks the energy out of people, and they don't even know what's going on. So it's a lot of things. You want to look for patterns. Was there another family member in the family that, was the black sheep, or something happened between them and another family member, and the other family member just go along and get along? You want to look at patterns of disruption. Does this person, they have the traits and characteristics of Satan more or less, some more, some less, okay? But are they, like you said, energy vampires? Are they cunning? Are they deceptive? Do they lie? Do they cheat? Do they do different things? So those are you have to start putting the puzzle pieces together, and pay attention to what your spirit is saying. Pay attention to the Holy Spirit. Some call it intuition, some call it whatever, energy, whatever. Pay attention to that. Whatever you call it, pay attention to it, because it's 9 times out of 10, you don't want to gaslight yourself. And most of the time you are correct. And your first mind is correct, okay, in what you're thinking.
I have nothing to add to that one. I mean, she hit on everything, so I don't have anything to add. Just remember, just know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, find out what's going on. Just remember that. Ask questions. Yeah.
Because that's what a narcissist doesn't want you to do. They don't want you to ask questions. They don't want anybody to dig too deep. They don't want you, they want us to stay surface level so they can continue. They don't want, and they also want to triangulate. They don't want, you know, all the members to get together and talk. They want it just to be, let's just party, let's just talk, let's just eat, let's just keep things very surface level. We won't talk about any issues. We won't get together and talk about things that we really need to talk about. We just gonna keep it. We're just gonna keep it live, and that's it. Because then the focus is not on keeping people accountable for the things that they do within the family.
Exactly. We're coming down to actually our last question. So I think that question is for me, and then we got a slide we're gonna pull up, and then we'll close this one out. But get to the last question.
Is there anything we can do to feel more comfortable around demons, around narcissists?
Oh, you didn't go demons on
that. Okay.
I mean, we mentioned some of the things through this video. Setting boundaries, it'll make you a little bit more comfortable. Now you setting a boundary, saying this is what I need to be able to be around you. Find support. You might have other family members that's feeling the same way you feeling. So it's a good time, a good opportunity to talk to them, bounce ideas off each other. Be like, oh, I didn't know that about cuz. Well, I didn't know that about, you know, that brother or whatever. See them for who they are. Yeah. See them for who they are. Don't try to say they this just because that's what you knew 10, 20 years ago. Guess what? Times change and ain't not that way anymore. And maybe you wasn't, when you was around, maybe you wasn't around them enough, like you said earlier, to be able to pick up on some of these things. So see them exactly for what they are. What they show you, that's what it is. So, and then my last point is stand up for yourself. So don't get in a situation where you have family members just running over, because family members do it just like a stranger will. So don't have family, because what they gonna do at the end of the day, they gonna use you. They gonna get out of you what they can, and they're gonna use you. So until you stand up for yourself and say no, like my wife say, no is a complete sentence, so is yes. But in this case, you saying no, leave it at that. That's the end of that. If I say I don't want you cursing around me, okay, that's what I'm doing. If I say I don't want you, doing this around me, or like we said earlier, saying a little nasty jokes, that's just what it is. So stand up for yourself. Don't just set a boundary, then let them walk all over the boundary. What's the whole point of saying it? So just remember that. I'll pull up the slide. It's the last slide. Let me see. Which one is it? That one.
No contact?
Yeah, this one, no contact. Okay. You want to read this one?
Yeah, so, and I wanted to say, I guess kind of wrapping it up too, you have to be okay with not being understood. There are some family members, there are some friends who are not going to understand your decisions. So like you said, you have to be okay with, when you set a boundary, you have to be, you're the one, you're protecting your inner child, okay? You're protecting yourself. And a lot of times you're protecting your children. You're breaking generational curses, okay? You're breaking things that are within your bloodline, okay? So people are not going to want change. They're not gonna like it if you decide to go no contact. So you have to be okay with being misunderstood, all right? Because they're gonna try to bring you back in, and some of them mean well, and then some of them don't mean well. Okay, there are people who they love family and they want everybody to be together, but they don't understand that it could be at your expense. So you have to lay your boundary, and then they have to respect it. And if they don't respect it, then you have to do what's best for you and remove yourself from the situation. Okay, so no contact with narcissists during the holidays. Like I said, do not allow others to make you feel guilt or shame about the decisions for your life and your children's lives. Okay, and when the narcissists, when you get away from those people, they're going to try to hoover. They're going to use other family members. They're going to use other friends. They'll dial you up, and then act like they didn't mean to do it. They'll dial up other family members, asking about you or doing little things, or if tragic events or whatever may happen, holidays, narcissists will use any excuse, any reason, whatever, especially the holidays, because they know people are sad. Some people are sad during the holidays. Some people, you know, like being around family, but now they're no contact, so they know that about you. So they'll do little things to lure you back in, but you have to stay centered, and do what the Bible tells you to do, okay? And don't ever think that, oh, it's the holiday season, the narcissist is nice now. They've changed, right? No, they haven't changed. So you have to, again, stand on what you know to be true. Because a lot of times we'll talk ourselves, oh, but no, stand strong, okay? And then once you get rid of toxic people, you know, and what I had to realize is God sometimes removes your biological family, okay, to give you your spiritual family. Because if we don't know that your biological families are gonna pass away, okay? If you are a believer in Christ, when you get to heaven, your family's not gonna be standing there on Judgment Day with you, okay? It's gonna be you and you alone, all right? But God will allow your spiritual family to come in and support you and uplift you and build you up, okay? So don't feel ashamed. There is more people than you think that are no contact with their family members. Is just something that people don't talk about or discuss. So I think those things are kind of important to remember, just to honor yourself and your boundaries, even during the holiday season, especially. Oh, and another thing, it's okay, you might feel sad or something like that, but get up, you know, do things for yourself, do things that you want to do, start new traditions, you know, be around people that are healthy and good for your mental health.
I'm sitting there messing with the computer. I was listening though, but yeah, she's right. The main thing that you want to remember is the last thing she said. Find your own tribe, finding people that's going to help and support you. It's not always family. It could be friends. It could be people that you don't even know that will become a friend or a brother or a sister to you, or you might become a motherly or fatherly figure. You never know where these people come from. But that's when the prayer, talking to God and saying, hey, I need help in this area. And he'll send those people to you. So just remember that. Once again, to me, this is another great video, especially with the holidays. You know, like we said, I think we said it. We didn't. We talked about it earlier. Talking about the suicide rates and stuff like that is always high during the holidays. People are sad because people pass away during the holidays, or they're just sad just to be sad. They, you know, they're not around their family, like they already know contact, so maybe they're sad. So this video is for anybody that trying to go to the Christmas party or, you know, the Thanksgiving function with the family and, you know, New Year's, you know, popping fireworks or whatever. Just know that you don't have to go, and don't let them guilt trip you, and just learn, you know, the signs and behavior of a narcissist, so that way you know what you're dealing with at the end of the day. So like I said, we wanted to do this video again. We started to do more of these videos together because we see the need for it to come together and get the message out there and make sure people are learning from these videos. Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure you put your faith and trust in God above all else, above anything that we're telling you. Ask God, go to God. God, what is your plan? Do you want me to be in contact with these people? Do you want me? How do you want me to handle it? And God will tell you, he will guide you. And when your mother and father forsake you, God will be right there, okay? He will be Abba, he will be Jehovah Jireh, he will be whoever you need him to be. So just always keep that in mind. And then things are a season. If you're in a state of depression, remember that's not of God, okay? And then maybe things that we struggle with, as long as we're in this flesh, we're going to struggle with some things, okay? But these are seasonal things, but never solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution, okay? So if you're thinking about harming yourself, you're thinking about you're sad, it's a season, okay? And this too, it will pass, all right? I know sometimes it doesn't make us feel better, but it is absolutely true. Give it all to God, and he will be there for you.
Exactly. And that's the end of our video. Once again, this is my wife, Shannon Savoy. So Shannon, just tell them how to get in touch with you, your website and everything again.
Yes, I'm on all social media under Narc Free Living LLC. Website is www.narcfreeliving.com, and my nonprofit is www.girlsrock.com. So there's apparel, there's resources, there's articles, there's all kinds of things on those websites that will help you if you find yourself in a narcissistic relationship.
Yeah, and the girl thing is coming along real nice. The nonprofit, and she just pushing along. Support her on the YouTube channel.
Oh, forgot about YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. She just started that actually a couple of weeks, starting to grow already, which I knew she would. So I'll link all that in the description so you can find it out down there. Once again, for everybody that coming back to the channel, welcome back. For first time subscribers, go ahead and subscribe, click the bell. You can like with the little thumbs up, and then also do comments. It's cool to do comments and get talking about, asking questions. I look for questions. Shannon will chime in too sometime on my channel, the same thing I do with hers, with questions and everything. And again, you can reach me. I have that in the description also. But www.faithbasedworkplace.com. You want to get cool shirts like this, what I'm wearing, and different hoodies and stuff like that. All that's on the website, so you can actually go support. And same thing, I have blogs and different tips and things like that on the website. So once again, this Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel. God bless you during this. I'll say during this holiday season, for everyone that celebrates holidays, that's cool. But just remember, a holiday doesn't define who you are. It doesn't define your character, and don't let anyone guilt trip you into going to a holiday you really don't want to go to it. Just remember that. So once again, Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel. My co-host Shannon Savoy, my wife. We'll see you next time. Stay blessed, and God bless you.
See you guys later.